Welcome, and greetings to all. I am Shen Longpen Dragon, the Lore Master. So as always, a quick disclaimer. I don't own any of the images or the story in this video. The credit for these all belong to their original sources. So ladies and gentlemen, today I will be telling you the legend of the Battle of Horus and Set. To know this story is to know the story of Egypt itself. Long ago, the great gods of the sky and earth, Nut and Geb, had 4 children. First, there was Osiris, he who ruled over the black lands surrounding the Nile, and with him his wife, Isis. Then there was the second son, Set, and his wife, Nephthys. While Osiris ruled over the Black Land, the fertile lands surrounding the Nile, Set was left to wander the barren, Red Land, the great deserts. Osiris was beloved as a king. He had both the hearts, minds, and ears of the people. Yet Set knew nothing but content and fear. Perhaps this was what drove him to jealousy and bitterness. Or perhaps it was the desire to bear the crown himself. Or maybe because he was infertile, he was angry that Osiris had been seduced by Nephthys when she disguised herself as Isis. Nephthys desired children, but unable to bear them with her husband, she chose to bear Osiris' children instead, and thus give birth to Anubis. One day, Set visited Osiris' court, bringing with him a large, ornately carved wooden box. "What is it you have there, brother?" Osiris asked Set. "A gift for you. I was hoping to give you this box, but I wanted to make sure it was the right size. Dear brother, could you do me the honor of lying inside it so I can make sure that I have selected the right size?" Osiris was trusting and didn't believe that his brother wanted to do him any harm at all. Thus he complied. "Well, Set, you are an excellent judge of character. This is a perfect fit for me." Set bowed his head. "I am pleased that I was able to gather my wits and select the right size of box, Osiris. However, to be sure, will you permit me to shut the lid and ensure that the locking mechanism works?" Osiris, again trusting his brother, agreed, and so Set sealed and locked what was now apparent to be a sarcophagus. Trapped inside, Osiris could do nothing as Set moved the box from the court and threw it into the Nile. There Osiris drowned, and in the form of a crocodile, Set opened up the box and ripped Osiris into 14 pieces. Taking the 14 pieces of Osiris, Set scattered them throughout Egypt, throwing one into the Nile to be eaten by crocodiles and fish. The rest were hidden, buried, or even sealed in tombs, never to be found and reunited. And so Set would become the sole ruler of Egypt without any contest. Fearing for her own life and life of her son, Nephthys took Anubis to find Isis to seek shelter. But Isis had her own plans. She would not rest idle while her husband's death went unavenged. And so she traveled the country until she had found all 14 pieces of her husband. The final piece the one that had been eaten, she artificially created through magic, allowing her to reenact Osiris. Yet, her resurrection magic could not hold out for any longer than 24 hours. 24 hours was all Isis could have with her husband, before he would once again fall victim to the cold, dark embrace of death. Despite the limited time, it had been enough for Isis to sow the seeds of her revenge against Set. For, before the year was out, she had given birth to one son, Horus, the Lord of the Air. While Horus was still a child, he was vulnerable, and so Isis hid him. Fearing Set's wrath, and knowing that the Dark God would not stop until he had Horus's head on a spike. In secret, she trained Horus, preparing him to fight Set, filling him with hatred for his uncle and love for his people, for he would be the one destined to rule Egypt and bring vengeance for his father. As the years passed, Horus became a strong, fine young man, more than capable of holding his own in a fight against any warrior, or so it would seem. Ra, the great king of the gods, then decided to gift Horus with perfect vision. His eyes would allow him to never miss a target, and thus avenge Osiris. One day, while traveling along the Nile, Horus and his companions noticed something strange along the banks. Halting their craft, Horus stepped upon the shore to investigate. What he saw was what appeared to be a wounded boar. Curious, Horus approached, wondering if he could save the animal. Little did he know that it was Set in disguise, baiting him with a trap. As Horus approached, Set turned around and shot flames from his mouth straight into Horus's face. Horus reeled back with a scream. "Hark! It is Set, and he has blinded me with his fire!" Horus's eyes grew dark and unseeing, and so he was unable to defend himself as Set attacked, slashing him across the face and taking one of his eyes. Before Set could finish the fight, Horus's companions drove him off and dragged Horus back to the boat. Horus was not disheartened by his injury. In fact, he became all the more determined. He trained harder, for longer, every day, until eventually his sight was restored. His dark eyes had grown bright once more, for one eye had become the sun, and the other the moon. He was ready to face Set and take back his kingdom. After a vicious and bloody battle, Horus finally defeated Set. Wounded, Set looked at his nephew. "Come, boy. I'm your uncle Set. Surely you will not kill me." Horus raised his spear, his face a mask of cold hatred. "Come, Horus, I'm your uncle. I let you live. Remember that. I let you live." Horus paused. "Yes, you did. But I will not make that mistake." And with a final blow to the heart, Horus killed Set. At last, it was done. Horus had retaken his kingdom, avenged his father, and defeated Set. With Osiris' spirit at rest, he could finally be resurrected as the Lord of the Duat. While Osiris would rule over the dead, Horus would remain in the land of the living to rule its people. However, there were times where Horus would spread his wings to visit his father in the afterlife, only to return to rule his kingdom. It is said that in life, the mortal pharaoh is the avatar of Horus, and in death, he is the avatar of Osiris. Hence why the ancient Egyptians believed their pharaohs to be living gods. And so ends the legend of the battle of Horus and Set. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please remember to like and subscribe for more lore, myths, legends, and stories. I am Shenlong Pendragon, and until next time, remember, knowledge is power.